Okay. Good evening, everyone. I officially welcome us to this today's workshop. Today we'll be discussing about IOSH membership guide. We'll be talking about first the benefits of joining health and safety organizations or institutions like IOSH. And second, we'll be focusing more about IOSH membership procedures and the categories. Then we'll be talking about the CPD process, how to maintain CPD in IOSH. So I will give room for Femi. I'll give room for Femi to start on the discussion.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Safeoclock, and good evening to fellow comrades and members of this of our profession, occupational health and safety. My name is Olufemi Ayokunle. I'm a chartered member of IOSH, and regarding this particular topic that we will be discussing and enlightening ourselves today, which is how to become a member of IOSH, its benefits and other things. I will be speaking on how I'll be speaking mainly on the benefits which someone can have of becoming a member of IOSH. That name only, IOSH, it's I would say it's like having another surname to your names you're here as you're having before. Like then having either any category you're able to join, it's like a feather, another feather being added to the ones you're having before. So regarding that, I mean, in addition to that, it's a stamp of excellence. Like if you've been a member, if you're a member of IOSH, it's a stamp of excellence. That means you've worked extremely additionally to have the qualification. That's why you have to let people know. It's not something you can have and hide it. You have to let people know that, oh, I'm a member of IOSH, irrespective of the category you joined, an affiliate, a guard, a chartered, a fellow, and the likes. So you cannot have it and hide it. Like, okay, let me keep it, or don't let people. Immediately you have it. I could remember when I get the day I received an email that I become a chartered member. I was in the restroom. I jumped out of the restroom that day. It's a day I can never forget. I jumped out of the restroom. That congratulations, you've become a chartered member of IOSH. I jumped out, I screamed. Everybody in my house was like, what happened? So that's how that was a feeling you can have when you become a member of IOSH. So additionally, I would just say, what is a IOSH membership? We can say IOSH membership is recognized and a worldwide benchmark for health and safety professions. Members, tools, and resources, you will learn it if you grow by the day and be part of a huge community of occupational safety and health. Where there is something IOSH will never, if you, I don't know, they will not ask question for maybe if you grad a member, you will not be maybe asked question, but if you are going to be a chartered member, you're going to pass through something they call the CPD and the likes. Somebody take care of that. And a peer review, which is very, very important. It's like an interactive section between you and some other professional body that will be interviewing you. So in this, there was one thing they will not but ask you, which is IOSH code of conduct. It's a must ask questions. So in this, all member is expected, before you become a member, you're expected to know this. Even after you've been a member, you must bear this at the back of your mind. It's just 4 categories of IOSH. As in this code of conduct, there are just 4, which is integrity, respect, service, and competence. What is integrity? Integrity is just for you to be honest, be abide by the law, and avoid conflict of interest in all your endeavors with your company and the person you'll be dealing with in the line of your work. Respect. Respect is that you must fully, as in fully operate with IOSH and abide by its charters, their bylaws and regulations. All this must be fully as in abide with. You must respect the rights of other people and the organization you work with, and they may be the people you are representing as well. Maybe your subcon and other people. Then service, which is the 3rd code of conduct of IOSH, you must ensure that terms of appointment and scope of work are clearly recorded in writing and carry out your professional work in a timely manner. That is what is expected of any member of IOSH. That this is what you are expected to do when you are giving out a service. Then competence, which is very, very important as well. Competence as a member of IOSH, you must be competent to undergo certain works. Ensure that you're working and ensure people you are working under and the authority or supervision are competent to carry out the works you are assigned to do. So these 4 particular categories is very important whenever you want to become a member of IOSH. It's expected of you to do. And I've never seen anybody that has undergone any interview with IOSH that they've not asked this they've not asked this question, that what is IOSH code of conduct? Nobody. And I've seen people that they were unable to, not seen, heard actually, because I have some people that they are able to be the peer, a member of a peer review currently in the order that they share the experience with me. You will see some people with big grade, big qualification, 35 years of experience. They failed the peer review. They asked them, what is it? Code of conduct, IOSH code of conduct. They couldn't put it down in words. They can't remind it. They remember it. They can't say it. And this caused them to maybe fail the peer review and have to register again. So it is very important before you become a member. Once you've registered, they will certainly give you this code of conduct to study, but most people overlook it. They will just tell you it's normal for IOSH to send you something. But it's not just what for you to check, as in to have and keep in your files. You have to understand it. It's very important. These 4 points. The IOSH code of conduct. It is very, very important. And being a member will make you to be continuously learning, and your development is going to improve that. Regular industry news and best practices. Time to time, IOSH will be sending you emails. They'll be sending you emails mainly on their journals, on their via email. So you'll be able to get updated about what is happening about the company. Networking with like-minded individuals. This is very important also. Because once you become a charter member, this will enable you to be to have more people with you, as in people that, okay, you see, you put it on your profile, say LinkedIn, for example, you're a charter member, and a lot of people will want to associate with you. And okay, you associate a charter member, oh, that's very good. It's so because what we'll be sharing, the idea we'll be sharing will be in common. And also, lastly, the extra support when you need it. Like maybe you need something to maybe you are maybe encountering something at your workplace. What do you want to do with it? Then it will make you to understand that you will be easily get support from your co-workers. I've seen one of my guy in the building raising his hand, Mr. Adewale. I know he has a lot of stock in store for us. And with that, I will just yield back to Mr. Johnson so other people can contribute to this particular topic. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Femi. We appreciate that introduction. So the next stage of our presentation today, we'll be talking about the types of membership. So I'll share my screen so that you'll be able to see my screen. After that, we'll come to.
Please. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead. I didn't see your hand then. Go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I must commend this, what you've been doing, and it's very good. At least, you are giving awareness and, trying to mentor people as well, to their career paths, to the zenith of their career in health and safety. This is a very good program, and most especially our community, Nigerians, you're also trying to also help and guide them as well. So I really have to commend you guys for this wonderful program you have really, you organize every Thursday. Sorry, my time is very limited. I just want to add to this what Mr. Femi has said. I will also try to give back, to our community, to help, those, intending going for their peer review, CMI IOSH interview. One thing you just have to note is give practical examples when you are being asked questions. And the IOSH code of conduct is always the last question, because I've happened to be a member of panel, even forget about your 35 years experience, you have 20 years experience, even people with PhD, people really feel the peer review. I'm being honest with you. Recently, in fact, the last one we did on the 19th of July, the three candidates, they failed. So you have the first stacks, they will ask you of maybe, for instance, health and safety policy, go straight to the point, give them practical examples, talk about the statement of intent, organization and arrangement. Sorry, please, excuse me, 1 minute, please. Please.
Okay, guys. Mr. Aziz will continue when he comes on board, but I would like to continue from where I stopped before Mr. Aziz comes. When he comes, I will hand over to him to continue, because he's currently a member of peer review panel, so he has a lot of experience to tell us there. But I will start talking before he comes. Are you on now, Mr. Aziz?
Yes.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
So, you have to give practical examples. Then the IOSH code of conduct is very, very important. The four pillars that's like the deciding factor. If you have done well in all the questions and you forget any of the 4 pillars, man, you won't get the pass. It's an automatic fail. So most people they will complain, oh, I did well, this, that is a lie. Probably they didn't answer the code of conduct very, very well. A lot of people do forget the code of conduct. They would, in fact, I've seen cases of head of Department of Safeties, they don't meet up. So even the last one I did yesterday, I think even the guy, he struggled. It was a struggled pass. So forget about the profile. Just, most of you in fact, most people in Middle East here, they even do better. Because why? Because of the practical experiences we've had on the sites. That is what they want to know. Just give them practical experiences on how you do, give them, you don't need to start talking like, just go straight to the point. answer it, and your code of conduct, master it very well. In fact, they will send it to you before maybe I think a week or 2 weeks before this thing. You will see there integrity, respect, services, and competency. So those two, and they will tell you that, okay, where has it been applicable to you? So this, just approach the questions and you are done. Within 3 days, you get your feedback. If in fact you would know that you have even passed. You would know you have even passed. So that's my little contribution to what Mr. Femi has said. So
all right, sir. Thank you very much. Please don't go far. Hang around, and we'll have time for question and answer. I'm sure a lot of people will have direct questions to ask. Please hang around so that you'll be able to do justice when the time comes. So we are going to run through the IOSH membership categories so that people will get familiar with what we are talking about. Okay, so currently there is a review ongoing about IOSH membership, the categories, and but the price, according to the website, still remains the same until next year, 2024. So you'll be having, for affiliate membership, the cost is £208. Okay, you will find all these details in the IOSH website. Okay, so I want to focus mainly on the type of membership. You can join either as an affiliate member or a student member. So from there, you can progress to the next stage, depending on your qualification, depending on the certificates that you're able to prove your competency, you'll be able to progress to the next stage. For example, you will not be able to register directly and become a chartered member. You have to register first. If you are a student, you will register as a student, and you have to show proof that you are currently studying a health and safety related course. Then you can register as a student member, and the cost for students is different from the cost of registering as an affiliate member. Then if you want to register as an affiliate member, you're already a professional, you're already working, you have health and safety qualifications. Your registration will start from affiliate member. Then you will get notifications and email and all the approvals that you'll be registered. Then you have to then mail IOSH your qualifications with your CV and the proofs that will be able to prove that you merit to get to the next level of the membership. Okay, I will in a bit, the next slide, I will show you the categories. Okay, now there are some adjustments that are applicable to some people, depending on if you have like a special needs, or there are some difficult situations that are applicable to you. So IOSH have this type of extra assessment time that could be given to you so that you'll be able to fit in. So this is in line with Equality Act 2010 of the UK. So, and this you'll get qualified to have received this extra time or extra effort or extra special attention if one, you have been affected in the last 12 months. Maybe you had an accident, work-related accident that has affected maybe your mobility, your hands, or your ability to function effectively in the past 12 months. So IOSH will consider you and give you special consideration on your membership progress. Okay. Now, also, if you had an issue or you have a health-related issue that affects the way you work, the way you eat, your washing, your shopping. So this is another consideration, another factor that will earn you a consideration in your membership journey. So what are the type of consideration that you can get? You can get extra time for membership assessment. You can also have extra formats of assessment. Just like Mr. Aziz was talking about peer review interview. So if you have speech deficiencies, or maybe you cannot speak very well, then there could be alternative formats of assessing you. So that is what this simply means. Okay, let's talk about the categories change. So recently, I think from July 2023, there is IOSH has announced some changes in the designations or in the categories. So first, the student member. Student member still remains a student member. It's an entry level, just the stage where you can enter the membership from. So for you to register as a student member, you have to prove that you are a student, and you will be paying less to prove that you're a student, and you'll be paying less. Now you can register now as an affiliate member. Okay, before now it used to be associate member. Okay, so now you register as an affiliate member, and from affiliate member you cannot upgrade to technical member. And for you to get to technical member, you have to maintain 30 hours CPD per year. In the last session, Mr. Steven will talk about the CPD and what we mean by CPD. And mind you, what we are doing now can also count as your CPD. CPD simply means continuous professional development. So it means you are doing something to improve yourself. You show even part of the work you are doing at your workplace, if you're able to gather some evidences of what you are doing on day-to-day, the toolbox talk you conduct, the trainings, the seminars you attend, the workshops you attend, you're able to prove that you are doing something related to health and safety every year. You gather the evidences, you gather them, the certificate you obtain, or the attendance sheet, you gather all the evidences, put them together, and log into your platform, upload it, write some comments of what happened, the time you started, the lessons learned. So you record it as your CPD. So Mr. Steven will talk about that later. Now, the next change that will be visible very soon is the graduate member. The name graduate member or graduate IOSH has been changed to certified member. So I think from next month or from this month, you'll be seeing more of a certified member instead of graduate member. So this is the same level of graduate member. So for you to get to graduate member, you have registered as an affiliate member, and you are able to show proof to IOSH that you have a level 6 health and safety qualification. Either you have a NEBOSH diploma, or you have a NVQ level 6 diploma. So you're able to show IOSH that you've obtained a level 6 or higher. So it's not just level 6 or higher. Maybe you had your master's degree in health and safety. You're able to prove to IOSH that you have a more than level 6 diploma. So you will be placed on a certified member. So when you have registered, for you to get this, they will not just give it to you. You have to notify them. By email, you have to send IOSH an email with your certificates and with your resume and all the proofs that you merit to be a certified member. So within weeks, you will receive a notification that your category has been changed. All right, so now when you are a certified member, the next stage is to be a chartered member. So for you to be a chartered member, you must be maintaining your CPD. You maintain 30 hours CPD per year. And you have to, there is a blueprint in the IOSH website that you have to go through the seminar or the lay down a course. It's like 3-unit course there that you have to go through them and pass all the assessments. Then you have to complete your 30-hour CPD per year. Now, to become a chartered member, depending on the route you followed. Now, either if you follow the route of NVQ, meaning that while you were doing your NVQ, you submitted all the evidences that showed that you are working, your practical evidence. So to get to a chartered member, IOSH will not ask you to submit these evidences again. Then you take another route, the route that will allow you to write an exam, an open assessment exam. So if you write this open assessment exam, which is the part A, and pass it, the next part will be to write an essay. IOSH will send you an essay of about 2 parts with scenario questions, which you are required to submit within 7 days. So when you have submitted this and it's graded and you pass, then they will do a review on your CPD. If your CPD meets the requirement or the criteria, then you will have to register for peer review interview. When you registered for peer review interview and sit on the panel, answer all the questions, then they will award you a chartered member. That is the first route. The second route is if you went through an let's say an educational or academic route, like you had your IOSH diploma or you had your master's in health and safety, you will be required to submit evidences through the IOSH portal. So these evidences is what will prove your practical abilities in your workplace. So after that, you will not be required to write the open book assessment again, but you have to register for your peer review interview, and you follow the same process. After that, you will be awarded a chartered member. Okay, now the next category is the chartered fellow. So if you have been a chartered member for about 5 years and you are maintaining your CPD in the blueprint, 30-hour CPD per year, so you will be qualified to apply for chartered fellow, and you can follow all the procedures. If you meet the criteria, then you will be awarded a chartered fellow. The other categories is now named the IOSH Companion. So IOSH Companion is like a honorary award that is given, it's just a title that is given to any member or any member health and safety professional that IOSH deems fit. So this companion is no longer, it's not an upgrade. The chartered fellow is the highest level in the membership, but the companion member is just like an honorary award that IOSH can give to anybody they deem fit. Okay, so if you want to register to become a member of IOSH, the website displaying there is your direct link. It will take you to where you will register and fill the registration forms. And from there, you take it up from there. All right, I would like to stop here because of time, so that Mr. Stephen will do justice to others.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Can I have access to share my screen? So
Yes, go ahead.
okay. Good evening once again. I would just like to introduce myself for those who are not, for those people who are new on this platform, as we normally meet every week on a Thursday. I'm Stephen Francis by name. I'm a chartered member of IOSH. So I would just want to encourage us because for those of us that will be making 1 or 2 contributions, people who have this probably broad knowledge regarding what we have been discussed today, for the fact that we have been part of the process and we are familiar with these old processes as well. So Mr. Johnson, Mr. Femi, they've set the pace rolling already. And some of the things that we're talking about has been said by them. So I will just try to roll very fast as well. You know, the beauty is that I would just want to focus on how we can attain for those who are graduate member or those who will eventually become a certified IOSH and will be willing to either attain its chartered status. You know, this is one status that is highly prestigious, and as we all know that IOSH is one of the recognized institution or professional body for health and safety practitioner, highly recognized, you know, so all over the world. So just as Mr. Femi has said, there are a lot of benefits that are attached to it. You know, there's this prestige, and apart from that, in even maintaining your CPD, it gives you this, it enhances your expertise as a professional, you know, and it makes you to be current, it makes you to be up to date of what is happening, and also make you sustain and maintain your competency within the field. Now, well, let's just focus on being a graduate member and you are aiming at achieving a chartered status. Mr. Johnson gave a summary. You know, we have a process called the initial professional development route, okay, or process, okay. Within the IPD is derived from what we call skill development. And within the IPD, rather, sorry, we have the skill development portfolio and also have the electronic open assessment. Now, your qualification, your level 6 qualification will determine or will depend on which route you are going to be going through. You know, like if you see what is on the screen here, there's a course for registering or for registering for your IPD. Okay, apart from being a member, if you indicate interest, you know, for you to be a chartered member of IOSH is not a compulsory thing. Okay, it's a voluntary thing. It's not that you must attain this status. So, but if you deem it fit, you know, I need to grow professionally, then you can decide to say, okay, let me opt in for this professional status. So by so doing, you have to register for what we call the initial professional development process, which will cost a fee of about £160. Okay, and once it is, after you have registered, you get access to your IPD online, like a microsite, you know, which will be activated within 24 hours. And this IPD process takes 2 years to complete. That is the window period for you to complete it. So if you're unable to complete it, you have to, after 2 years, you have to re-register and pay another fee. So it is very easy if you are committed. If you're a committed person and you have the time, you can achieve it in less than 2 years. From my own experience, I achieved my own charter status within the space of 5 months. You know, and this is something that, oh, you want to ask, how did you do this? So it might be a discussion for another day. Some people spent up to a year, some people spend even up to that 2 years. Now, like I've said, it's either you go through the skill development portfolio or the electronic open assessment based on your qualification. Mr. Johnson have highlighted that earlier. And after that process, having completed your process, either skill development portfolio or electronic open assessment, the next stage will be a CPD audit. Okay, now in the new blueprint, I think from tomorrow, the previous or existing CPD platform or microsite will not be functional anymore. So every member, irrespective of the level that you are eligible to keep record of your CPD, this CPD must be done within the IOSH Blueprint 2.0. Okay, so I'll be giving a kind of summary about that in our subsequent slide. So after the CPD audit, the next stage is peer review interview. One of our senior colleagues here have said it, he has given us some tip. So the word peer review will not be strange to us anymore because they've said one or two things about it and what to do and what not to do, where to focus in order to succeed. Because all these things are areas that we can spend hours discussing about, okay? But this discussion is just to give those people who are new, those people who are interested, a picture of what it's all about, and if you want to contact any of us personally, and maybe subsequently we can bring a discussion that focus on these particular issues around these processes. Now, the process to complete through the IPD process will depend on the qualification like we've said earlier. Now, on the skill development portfolio, it's an evidence-based assessment, which is similar to MVQ. That is why if your level 6 qualification is MVQ, obviously IOSH will not place you on the route of skill development portfolio because they are similar. It's all about carrying out work activity and prove it with evidence, document evidence that you did this activity and all that, so once you are going through the skill development portfolio, you are going to have a kind of your IPD microsite where you have access to different elements with performance criteria, which you are going to work on. So these things are, when you work on all these things, they will really help you and in order to achieve your status. Though they have about 5 elements, in element 1, 2, 3, you are going to choose one element and one performance criteria each from there. Then in element 4 and 5, you select 2 each from each element to make it 7. So at the end of the day, you'll be carrying out about 7 performance criteria in all the process to be able to complete your skill development portfolio. And they are evidence-based. You need to provide evidence, and this evidence must fall within the space of 2 years. Now, and after each performance criteria, you have a reflective account or a statement that you must provide, to give a kind of reflective statement of that particular activity or performance criteria you carried out, to be successful with the process, because each element or performance criteria will be assessed by an assessor, and subsequently they can give feedback if there's any area they observe there's a weakness and they need you to improve on. So that is that. Then for that of the electronic open assessment, same way, it must be registered, and there are several months it is run within a year. I think in April, June, December, it is they don't run it within those period of the month, maybe based on some certain reasons within the UK. Then the exam period is within 14 days, but you have to complete it in 7 days, just like as Mr. Johnson have said. And it's comprised of 2 parts of exams. We have the part A, which is the multiple choice question. I don't know, I was talking to a professional and he told me it was I think 50 question, multiple question. I don't know if that has changed, but as at the last time I could check, it was like 48 multiple choice questions. And also you have a part B, which is a scenario-based question. Okay, you have 2 questions, scenario-based question, just like the way in the Bosch exam is being done today. It has to be a scenario-based question. You have to read it. You have to paint a picture like you are in the scene, you are in the picture, or you are in the situation. So you have to now give back to what is being asked in terms of question. Okay, so then the final stage, like we have said, is the peer review interview, is the final of the IPD assessment process. It is scheduled at various locations within the United Kingdom. Then for those who are outside the UK, it's through video conferencing, like through Zoom that we are communicating today. You just have your peer review, and it is being conducted by fellow members of IOSH and a chartered member as well. These are professionals. They are members of the panel. They could be just maybe 4 or 5 or 6, depending, and there will be representative from maybe the IOSH professional team to at least check for the quality of what is being done. And it's going to be within a space of 45 to 60 minutes. Okay, and just like Mr. Adewale have said, normally in IOSH side, they will tell you within 21 working day and 21 days, you get a feedback. But you know, it depends on the volume of people who are involved at that time. So you could get it in less than maybe 5 days. In my own case, I got feedback within 3 days. So it depends. So on successful completion of this process, which is a peer review interview, you will now be transferred to a chartered member of IOSH. But if you are not successful, definitely you'll be given a feedback, a positive, a feedback that's not feedback that will deter you, you understand? So they will just try to identify where you didn't do well so that you could improve much. Now, on the area of CPD, okay, I will just try to run too fast because the issue is that when we talk about CPD and when it comes to the blueprint, it's not as the way the CPD used to be. You know, there's a lot of enhancement within the dashboard and all that, and people need to get familiar with all this. So what I've decided to do is that, because like I discussed with Mr. Johnson, if I want to really talk more on the CPD, we could just spend an hour talking about just CPD without talking about membership and all that. So, but for the purpose of this workshop today, I'll just try to give us a kind of pictorial view of how it looks like and what is expected of us. You know, like with the new blueprint, we have this competency framework, which has been developed by IOSH. And if you could see from this competency framework is divided into 3 categories and 12 areas. And within these 12 areas, you also have division as well. But like I've said, I don't want to go too deep, but all these things are available within IOSH sites, you know. So if we go to IOSH site, we can get all the information we need. But it's just that some people don't know how to navigate and how to go about it, but everything is available there. If you know how to surf within the internet, you can get everything you need, okay? So now I just take a picture of a sample of what I have within my CPD record. So this is when you try to go through this CPD in a blueprint, this is a picture, this is what you see. It will be different from what I'm projecting today, okay? And it will bring out what we call my continuous professional development record, my personal development plan, and CPD resource library. You know, this one is just so wonderful. You know, IOSH has made it so beautiful that we have resources available for us within the blueprint that you can access for your CPD. Even if you are not attending a workshop or a webinar, so everything is well packaged, well planned and arranged by professionals. Okay, so that will determine, okay, what you want to do. If you want to carry out a 1 hour, you need a 1 hour resource, 2 hours resource within the library, they are all available. Each of the resource will tell you how many hours you can read through and study it, then also record it within your CPD record. So if you go further, you see that on my continuous professional development, it is expected for all professionals that are eligible to keep CPD record to ensure that they have a record of 30 hours mandatory CPD within 12 calendar months, within a year. Okay, so it is very, very important we do that. And by so doing, if you could see, normally there's an orange here, it comes in amber, you know, or I think red or something like that. So if you have not, in my case, I've completed my 30 hours. So that is why it is showing green. Okay, so for those who have not completed, you see, it will be, as you progresses, the bar will continue to move and move and move like that. So what I have on the next slide here, you see my record precisely, where you see the date of the activity you've recorded. Now, when you look at it, there's a space for add CPD activity. In this area, you have to add your activity. Okay, whatever you have done, you want to record, it is from this place. Once you click it, you see the features will come in. It will give you space to do whatever you want to do. Like for the purpose of time, that is why I don't want to, if I start going in, we will not maybe leave here in the next maybe 2 hours, you know. So I just want to give us this pictorial view of what it's all about. And within that, we have what we call your personal development plan. Because before you start your CPD, you need to have a development plan. Because when in this development plan, there are some questions on this thing you need to answer that will be able to give you picture of where you have weakness, where is your weakness and strength. So the essence of this blueprint is to focus on our areas that we have weakness, where we don't really have this strong, will I say competence in, I might be wrong using the word competence, but where we have weakness, how to improve and strengthen it, depending on your knowledge when you are assessing your professional development plan questions and all that. So there you can have an array of things to do as regards how to cover up for your areas of weakness within your professional development plan. Then, like I've said earlier, the CPD resources is available. In fact, it's a fantastic dashboard and user-friendly. Okay, nobody is putting you under pressure you must attend to it within a few minutes. No, you can go there, you can access those information, you can navigate, you can go through, read them. It's very easy. If along the line you are finding it difficult in some areas, you can approach any one of us, connect with us, then we can be able to share more light, on one-on-one discussion on these issues. Now you could see the resource library, like I've said. We see a lot of information. Like if you see the CPD, this one is telling you, if you go to this one, you see you have about 15 minutes. This is 15 minutes. So when you go on and on, you'll be seeing about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, even up to, there are resource information that are even up to 5 hours if you wish, depending on what you need based on your areas of weakness. Then one important thing also is the what we call the ethical practice. There's an assessment for our ethical practice, and according to IOSH, it is mandatory for a chartered member and a chartered fellow. For graduate member, it is just advisable. They are being encouraged to take the assessment because they cannot run away from it when they are going into chartered level. So they need to be familiar. But for chartered member and a chartered fellow, it's a mandatory that as you are keeping your 30-hour CPD within a year, 12 calendar month, you should have an assessment for ethical practice. So I don't know why the certificate is not available, but according to them, I think after completing this assessment, you are supposed to have something like a digital certificate to show for this. All these things are important because they sharpen your expertise. That is the reality. From my own experience, I love engaging in things like this. These things will shape you. It will make you stand out as a professional. And when employers, you have to deal with employers, they know who, for you to even attain a charter status, most employers, they know the rigorous process that are involved in attaining this status. So no matter how you go about it, if at the end of the day you achieve this status, then it shows that level, that high level of competence in you, that high level of professional expertise in you as a professional, which is good because it's going to develop you personally. Okay, so even if you are faced with any challenges, you will know how to deal with it within your organization or within any professional organization you find yourself as an health and safety practitioner. I think for the sake and purpose of our time, I will just try to end this discussion here so that we'll have room for question and answer so that we can portray more on anything that we have observed so far. Thank you very much for giving me this time and opportunity to discuss with you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Stephen. We appreciate your time and effort in making this explicit presentation. We are going to use this opportunity to take some contributions and questions. So let's take general contribution and questions. If there are some angles that are not too clear that maybe we omitted, because we just wanted to summarize everything within 1 hour. So you can ask your question, or if there are some angles we miss something, you can also chip it in.
Yeah. Good evening, all. Good evening. I just say, my honorables, I greet you all. I just want to contribute a
Okay,
little.
welcome, sir.
Yeah, I must commend all of you for simplifying the process to become an IOSH member. I just want to say this. It is sometimes I heard people say it's almost like useless becoming having this IOSH regarding aspect of maybe it's not giving the required return people need. They expect, sometimes people expect that when they become IOSH member, that should give them advantage to have job and all that, the job market and all that. So sometimes it makes people skeptical to continue. Sometimes I even ask some friends who say, I don't want to pay anymore for my grad IOSH membership, to renew my membership and all that. So there are different factors that motivate and discourage people. But apart from wanting to become an IOSH member, what is your passion to be a health and safety profession? Because this our profession is engaging, it is knowledge-based, and for you to keep on to be updating, you have to keep learning. So IOSH is a very good platform to keep up this knowledge and skills. It's not just about the market value now. For me, sometimes ago, I also speak in the same sense with what I say people speak. But trust me, I can say I'm a very proud member of IOSH and a chartered member, because it does not come easy. There's no shortcut to become a chartered member. There's no shortcut to become a satisfied member, a tech member. There's no shortcut. You must do the work. And doing the work will keep you afloat of knowledge. You get a step ahead of your peers, and you can really stand out. And apart from that, in general life cycle, it teaches you more, like the ethics and all that. It shapes you. And just recently, I must say, I will not, in short, I cannot join people saying that it does not give you that edge or that respect that you demand. Because now, recently, I had a test. And when they learned that I'm a IOSH member, and the tone that I spoke, because it was like a panel of interview, I bring the knowledge and the understanding I had in learning, being a member, IOSH, maintaining my CPD as well. I bring these things in, and I can tell you, the panel, we are all shaking their head, because I was hitting the nail on the head, like telling them management issues. You understand? So at the end of the day, they really commended me, and they were happy. You understand? So I fall back to my IOSH, my learning, my experience I have over the years. So I will encourage anyone that want to go into it, that have the passion for this profession, to maintain this status, and for those that want to join, who have not joined, to come back to this recording to learn more. Just as Mr. Stephen has said, you can reach out to any of the professionals or the senior professionals here. They will guide you. I was guided. You understand? So it's a family, and thank you. That's my little contribution.
All right, thank you, Ms. Andrew. Is there any other person that has contribution or question before we round off for the day?
Okay, I think I have a question. Can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. I want to thank the organizers of this great, insightful and engaging session. The thing there is, I hope I'm not too fast forward with my question, but I would like to direct this question to Mr. Adewale, right? And Mr. Steven. Okay, the thing is, I could understand that Mr. Adewale happens to be sometimes the shattered panel, IOSH panel, you know, for the peer review session with those aspiring to become shattered members. So what are the features or attributes? You know, what are the areas that you focus mainly when assessing?
Unmute, please. Unmute yourself, David.
My goodness, I don't know where I stop now. So my question is that what are the areas, you know, you focus your question, you assess these shattered aspirants, you know, during the peer review session, because you made mention of health and safety policy, the IOSH code of ethics, you know, or rather code of conduct. So what other areas, you know, you draw your questions from, you assess this candidate? Because personally, I just newly registered for the IOSH membership, and I would say all thanks to everyone on this platform. You guys inspired me. For many years, I've been looking at this IOSH thing, downplaying it, but until I found myself in this circle, you know, I saw some good reasons, reasonable and tangible reasons why I should identify with IOSH going forward. And based on that, I want to get all the information as much as possible that can also help me, not just attaining the grad IOSH level or certified member, but I'm looking forward to become a shattered as well, because it seems I'm the only person who's not a shattered in this in this platform. So thank you. That's my question.
No, you're not a good person now.
Basically, I get what I get the angle you are coming from. So, you know, there's an ethics, and I propose it through that question to you. I just use that site as an example. You know, that if they ask you, for instance, like health and safety policy, or how do you process health and safety policy, you should be able to give them the details, the elements, you know, how effective it is, how you would cascade the health and safety policy. How will you ensure it is effective? You understand? How will you monitor it? How will you monitor the implementation? So basically, most of the questions is what you are doing, is what you are familiar with on site. It is what you are doing. So they just need practical examples, you know, and you tell them that not we. You understand? They want to know that I do this. You are personalizing your answers to them. So you cite various examples. Even sometimes you don't have to be afraid. But what I would suggest you do is, when you register, do a mock, you know, like a mock peer review with 3 people. So that will boost your confidence. You understand? You get like question and answer, just like, you know, Zoom now, you do it with people. Today you can do this, with other people. So it will give you an insight on how to, where to improve, area for improvement. You didn't answer this properly, and once you answer the questions, they won't, it's like maybe like 4 people. So you won't, they would, okay, you just give them, they'll be satisfied with just give them the right answer. Just go straight to the point. You don't need to start beating around the bush, around the corner, So the next thing, just give them, just tell them that you know what you are doing, you know what you are saying, I'm on the job, I do this, I do that. Then within an hour, you are done, because it's an hour. And like I said, when you finish your routes, when you get to that stage, you can contact Johnson or anyone, so you can have like, a grooming session, like a training session for that, So, this is a public space. So there's some things that I shouldn't, I shouldn't disclose. So I'm sorry for that. So, but when you are through with your whether skill portfolio or your what's the other one? Open assessments. Then after that they're going to do your audits. Then you pay for your peer review. Okay, then we can now sit down and talk. Okay, this is how to go about it. This is the approach. This is what you should expect. This is how you have to answer your questions. You don't say this, and you look into the camera. You don't look on the side. Some people, in fact, they canceled. I think they canceled. There's a lady. I think they canceled that one. She's from China also. She was looking elsewhere. I think probably she was really reading from somewhere. Yeah, I'm telling you this. So when it was my turn to ask a question, so she said she wanted to note the point down. So which raised a suspicion. This is an interview. Why do you say you want to note a point down? So, but we didn't get the evidence, but I knew she was, we saw the whole thing. She was told to turn her camera and, but we didn't see any evidence. But so I really don't know, but I think they're going to audit, and I don't think she was going to she's going to pass the peer review. But like I said, it's something you are doing in your workplace. Risk assessment, what you know about risk assessment, when you talk about risk assessment, everything, the stages, how you prioritize risk, these are basic thing. You cite examples, you give practical experiences, and you even give them reasons to ask you further, probe you again. You know they're satisfied with you. You get, so you just look them in the camera, you talk, and you relax. So that's it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that answer. And I'll give you some free tips just for everyone here.
Yes.
I will not go beyond what the ethics requires. So the one thing that you need to know is you should not say that you have not done it. One thing that you need to know is whatever question they ask you, you should answer it. Even if you have not done it before, there's no room for you to say that I've not done this activity before. Let me give you, for example, if they ask you about how do you prepare health and safety plan, and you open your mouth and you tell them that I've not prepared health and safety plan before. You have, even though maybe you have not done it before, but you should be able to say the process, the steps, how it's done. So immediately you say that you've not done it before, you have shot yourself in the leg. So, or they ask you what are the steps to prepare a risk assessment. And maybe in your workplace, it's not within your scope to prepare risk, or you have not prepared before, or maybe it's not expected that you've not prepared risk assessment before, and you are coming to become a chartered member. So there's no room for you to say that I've not done this before, or I've not, it's not within my scope to do it in my workplace. So you should be prepared to answer any question that comes to you. You understand? So that is one thing that I want to chip in there.
Okay, let me add to what we have said so far. But I don't know if that is exactly the same question Mr. David is trying to throw at me. Because when you were speaking, you said you're going to ask me and Mr. Adewale question. Yeah, okay. Yeah, from one thing I know is available within the public space as a member of IOSH is, I think there was a branch in the UK that did a kind of video within IOSH YouTube page. You find it there. I can also find it in my phone. I think I had it then. So I can as well share with you why you are prospecting for it, you know. So there's a mock. So this is it's not hidden, it's for the public who are interested for it. So it is there, you can actually download it. I think even I think they even sent me the link for it also when I was preparing for my peer review as well. Then they will share the link to you with you. So you can download it, it's a video. So you see the picture. You see the picture of how the peer review interview is being conducted. See, it's not a do or die affair, right? There's something IOSH will always say, this is your interview, not hers. So it is you that will be dealing with the whole thing, okay? That is why you will always use the word I. Whether you did it or you know, but that word I must appear frequently when you are giving back your answers to them. Yes, it might be that certain things are not done only by you, but you must prove and show to them with your statement that yes, you champion, you led, okay, while others could probably assist. You know, because if you are in head of something, it doesn't mean that you don't have people that might assist you in the process, but you were in charge. That is the whole beauty about it, okay? And just as Mr. Adewale have said, prior before your interview date, you can also try to speak to one or two of us. We can just try to conduct a kind of a mock drill. I will call it mock drill because your brain needs to be drilled about it so that you get you get familiar with these things. Like they have all said, these are things that we are familiar with. If you go through the YouTube I've told you, you will see those questions that they ask. Those likely questions, it might not be exactly the way it is there. You understand? But if a question is coming from a risk assessment, be sure something, because these are basic areas. You know, for you to become a certified IOSH, as it is, or I mean, sorry, a chartered member of IOSH, there are levels of competence, there are levels of engagement they expect you to have passed through. You know, so these are the things that are fundamental there. Because you cannot come and somebody is asking you one or two things and you will not be able to discharge. You know, at this level, you should be discharging to them. Even if you cannot remember anything at the time, just tell them that they should come back to it. It's allowed, because sometimes you might, because I could remember there was a question they were asking me then. I just told them they should come back to that question while we proceed further. Because if you just get stuck and you don't know what to say, it might destabilize you completely. You know, so when they go further and start asking other questions, I attended those questions, then they had to come back. As at the time they came back, this thing came back to my head, then I started discharging also. So for me, my experience, just like Mr. Adewale have said, though I was supposed to have a mock meeting, but because of time and all that, it wasn't possible. But believe me, my peer review was fantastic. You know, just like he said, when you finish the peer review, you will know if you pass or not, even before them giving you the result, okay? So when I finished the interview, in fact, it was just like a discussion, you know, you have to build your confidence. If you fail in your confidence, then you will be completely shattered in the process. That is why they used to say, or they always say, it is your interview. Just picture yourself that you're the one that want to even interview the panel, right? So when you get there, you just be discharging, and believe me, you're going to succeed. It's going to be fantastic and excellent. I think that's what I have to say.
Thanks.
All right, guys, we have exceeded our time today. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate all your contributions. I appreciate everyone. Andrew, David, Stephen, Femi, Enzi, Same, Joseph. I appreciate you all and others that have helped. Thank you all
Yes,
for.
sir. Sorry, before you close out, I just wanted to pass a word of thanks to all of you in just 10 seconds. Just thank you so much for the presentations. They have been so articulate. So I've not been so keen to understanding all, but what I picked is very clear. And thank you, Mr. Stephen, for inviting me to this platform. It is my first time today. Yes, I've enjoyed it. And then maybe lastly, now from this point, which do you still hope to continue having this platform, or to just do you expect more from you? Thank you.
Yes, we are still open. We have this workshop every Thursday by 6 p.m. So it's continuous practice for us. We use it to enlighten ourselves and refresh our memories on different topics. So next week, Thursday, we'll be talking about lifting procedures. So we expect you also.
Mr. Joseph, thank you for attending the workshop. Like Mr. Johnson have said, this is Safeoclock news, and we have decided that every week we must come up with something. And this is an opportunity for us to refresh our memory with things that we might have done in the past and presently we are not doing. Okay, maybe based on our roles and responsibility, and also depend on the organization we work. Because the truth is that you cannot cover, it is even we in construction that they see us, we are doing everything. When you go to the process industry, you go especially like the oil and gas, you discover that the safety professional who handle permits to work, that is his job. That is his job. He doesn't do anything more than permit to work. Who is in charge of Lotto? That is his responsibility. He doesn't do anything more than that. So that is why the essence of CPD, the essence of engaging with professionals with a group like this, where we come out at least once in a week. We know that times are so busy, but this will enable us to sharpen and refresh our skills, our competence, and be relevant within the professional space. Thank you very much. I'll be sending you the link frequently every week so that you'll be part of it. And I believe it's going to enhance you. And on the personal ground, we'll continue to talk. Where you feel you don't understand much, I can just discuss with you personally regarding this whole process. And I'm very glad you enjoy it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. See you same time next week, same station.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are doing great. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, bro. See you next week.
Thanks.